Have you or a loved one suffered from lack of star ocean phobia? Well, I have just the thing for you. That's right, it's Chris with Platinum Reviews, and today we have the review for Star Ocean, The Divine Force on PlayStation 5. Strap your boot socks in, boot socks, I don't know what that is, and let's jump into the review. Now, I had never played a Star Ocean game before. I played one on 360, but I didn't beat it, so we're going to just say I haven't played any. I don't know for sure if the characters from the games are new characters like Final Fantasy, or if Raymond has been around for many, many a time. So we're just going to handle it like it's a new character and buckle in. In Star Ocean, you play as Raymond Lawrence, a merchant from the stars, bringing goods from planet to planet. Or at least he would be, if his ship did not get destroyed and he was miraged. I think it's miraged on a distant planet, uninhabited, or so he thought. This is the first few minutes of Star Ocean, and you are thrust into a story immediately with conflict and just really, really good characters. I'm not going to go too deep into the story, but I will say I loved the first part of the story. I love the characters, though. The characters were so great. They're normally with games, there's at least one character where I'm like, I could not stand them. In Star Ocean, The Divine Force, I literally liked every single character. The writing was so good. The voice acting was amazing. Even NPCs had voice acting. I was just really surprised with the level of detail with this game as far as the voicing and everything. The story was great early on. Like I said, I really liked it. It's a struggle, it's a conflict about war and about territory and all this really, really cool things to see from this world. However, I feel like as the story progressed, they started to do too much. It was like, okay, where are you going with this? Especially at a later part in the story, I felt like they really hammered some stuff too much to where I was like, all right, I'm kind of done with this. It's getting boring. So early Star Ocean, The Divine Force story, mwah. Later, it kind of falters and it's not as good as early on. Now, graphically, I loved how Star Ocean looked. I thought a lot of the different areas looked different. Nothing really looked the same. The worlds, some of the areas that you go to are just gorgeous. There's a scene about halfway through where I can't really say too much about it, but you go to this like forest at night and there's like the moon overlooking and it's just beautiful. I really, really think that they did a great job with the visualizations in Star Ocean. I will say, however, character models are great. I just did not like Raymond's face. I felt like it was just weird how his like neck goes into his chin. I think his character model could have been a little bit better, but other than that, every other character model I liked. All the weapons looked cool. Just everything looked really great graphically. And apparently, the other Star Ocean games that have came out recently haven't looked that great either. So they did a great job with this. I mean, this game really, really looks good. Now, Star Ocean actually gives you the choice to play as one of two characters, Raymond or Leticia. And I did not play as Leticia, so I don't know as far as how much her story differs, but for the most part, they're together most of the time. I think there's only a handful of times, like the beginning of the story, towards the middle, where they kind of break up, so where you could see like a different standpoint of the story. So it definitely does pay to play both characters. I'm going to go back and play as the other one just because I want to see more, and it's required for the Platinum. But I thought that was a really cool feature that you could pick one or the other. Now, with this being a JRPG, it's not a turn-based, it's actually an action-oriented JRPG, so you can actually play as any of the characters. So, yeah, your main character might be Raymond, but if you want to play as one of the other characters and fight with them because you like their playstyle more, you can. And I thought that was a really cool thing that they added as well. You're not locked into just playing as one person. This also is very helpful if you have multiple characters go down. You can switch to one of the characters, use a revive potion, switch to another one, use a revive potion. So both of them are using potions at the same time to bring back multiple people. So I thought that was really cool, and I like that feature. Now, you don't have, it's not with the typical action-based RPGs to where you can just smash the buttons. In this one, you actually have like an energy type gauge to where you have to wait for it to refill. You can do things to get more energy and stuff like that, make it to where it refills very quickly. But at times, it does get pretty rough trying to manage your energy while trying to defeat the enemies. Now, Star Ocean does have a lot of side things to do as well. And this probably leads me into my biggest gripe with the game. Two of them. I have two gripes that are very, very big. One, side quest. There are no indicators when you're doing a side quest on anything to do with the side quest. It doesn't tell you where to go, doesn't tell you anything. It's just like, oh, I have this quest. You have to find my hat. And then you have no idea, like, oh, okay, where's your hat at? So I didn't like that part. And I do have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel under the Star Ocean folder or playlist that has a guide on almost a little over half the side quests. I'm still working on them. I still plan on putting out more, but there's so many games coming out. So it might take me a little bit. But yeah, I just did not like that part with the side quests. Now, there are other things you can do as well. There's crafting, and there is a lot of crafting to be done. Especially if you're wanting to get the platinum, you have to craft at least 90% of the craftable material or objects. And yeah, there's quite a bit. You can also play Isawa. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a type of figurine game that you collect these pieces as you play the game. And it's a pretty fun game, surprisingly. So there's characters that you can play, and you can build your ranking up to try and become Grandmaster. So it's a pretty fun game. It's definitely time consuming where you can easily get lost playing it. So I told you one of my gripes. Well, here's the biggest one of all. As you are playing, as you are exploring, your characters will sometimes talk amongst each other. When this happens, you cannot do anything. You can open up chests if you happen to get a chest. You can go into areas, stuff like that. But if you're wanting to explore, scan for chests, open your map, press the pause button to save, anything like that, you have to wait for them to finish talking. Especially if it's a small area and you want to scan it to see if there's a chest available, you have to wait for them to finish these long dialogues in order to do that. So I feel like it'd be a lot better if you could scan and keep going, not necessarily open the map, but when you scan, it does pop up and tell you where an object is. So I would have liked at least that. But the fact that you have to listen to the whole thing of them talking before you can make any sort of moves, it just really, really irked me. And I found more often than not me just getting mad and being like, why are you doing this to me, game? Last but not least, we'll touch base on the music. I really like the music in this game, and there's a few areas in here where the music just really, really stood out. Nibble, Hubid, however you say that, plays amazing music. It's like a forest area. I really, really like the music there. I think this has a very, very solid soundtrack, and if you get the deluxe edition, I think it does come with the digital soundtrack as well. Star Ocean: The Divine Force is a great game. I'm super excited to see where the series is going from here. I think with how good this game is selling and how good this game is, I think they're going to have a bigger budget to make an even better game. And I'm super, super excited. If they did something like this, what can they do with more money? Bring it on. Star Ocean: The Divine Force, I would give an 8 out of 10. Like I said, I did not like that you can't do anything while the characters are discussing things in the open world. Side quests just become a daunting task, and the story kind of falls off towards the end. Now, if you're going for the platinum, be ready. You have to do at least 2 full playthroughs. You have to beat the game one time to unlock, I think it's chaos difficulty or whatever. You can cheese the trophy by replaying the main mission or the final mission, changing the difficulty and beating it again. You also do have to unlock a whole bunch of character endings. This can be done as well without having to replay the game multiple times. So yeah, definitely look up on how to do that. It'll save you a lot of time. If you were trying to do everything without stuff like that, you're going to be looking at multiple playthroughs. But Star Ocean is a great game, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments down below. Like I said, if you're doing the game and you need help on any of the side quests, there's a good chance I might have a video on it. So be sure to check out that playlist. That is it for me. Thank you so much. As always, keep getting those trophies. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
I've never heard something so asinine.